Hi, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Gul Knowledge Hub. Welcome my YouTube family to your own channel. Today we are going to discuss a very debated, very hot and very common problem, and the problem is I forget words when I want to speak. Words don't come into my mind. I know a lot of words, but when I want to speak, words don't come to my mind. Is this problem of yours? Then this video is specially for you, because in this video we are going to do the problems. What are the problems and what are the solutions? So keep watching till the end. And if you are new on my channel, welcome to Gul Knowledge Hub, and kindly like and subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get the notification of my updated videos. So before any further ado gets into the video, so if we want to express our thoughts, we need words, because without words we can't express our thoughts. But what is the condition? If you know a lot of words, if you remember or if you have learned a lot of words, but when you want to speak, when you want to communicate, words don't come to your mind. It's just like the same. If you have a lot of ingredients, but you don't know what to cook and how to cook. The example is same. You have lot of words in your head, but you are unable to use those words in order to communicate your thoughts. Here the condition is, and the example is your brain, and brain is like the fridge, because until and unless you open the fridge, you can't know how many ingredients are in the fridge. When you open the fridge, you know the ingredient, you see them, and then the idea comes to you that what should be cooked today. The fridge is just like your brain. You have learned a lot of words, but they are not occurring to your speech. And when you read them in a textbook, or when you hear them by the radio or by news or by podcast, you recognize them that I have learned those words. But when you come to speak, or when you want to write down, you don't know how to use those words, because there are two categories of all the words of all vocabulary which we learn: active vocabulary and passive vocabulary. And now, what is active vocabulary and what is passive vocabulary? Active vocabulary is those words which we know and we use them when we communicate or when we want to talk to anyone. And passive vocabulary or passive words are those words which we have learned before, but when we want to use them, they don't come to our mind, because they have now passive, they are now still in our mind. The question is here, do you want to learn new words and add them into passive vocabulary, or do you want to activate your passive vocabulary into the active vocabulary? Because let me answer one thing. The question is that by the end of the book, how many new words are added to your active vocabulary? Or by end of any course, how many words are added to your vocabulary? The question here is not memorizing new words and then adding to your passive vocabulary. No, this is not the solution, because in that case you will be in an enigma, you will be baffled, you will be worried how to use the words. The solution is that we have to translate, we have to add the new words into the active vocabulary, not the passive vocabulary, because passive vocabulary or the passive words are not of our use. Now here are 4 solutions by which we can add new words to our active vocabulary, and we will not forget the words. We will use all the words which we have learned, and words will come to our mind, we will not forget them. Number one solution is that if you are facing this problem, then you have to pick up a pocket dictionary or notebook with you, always with you. Write down the new word which come across you. It doesn't mean that you have to write down all the words which come across you and write down the meanings. You have to fill up the notebook. No, you should not do this. You should have to write down the word and the meaning and then jump to the second step so that it can be learned and it can be added to your active vocabulary. Number two step is that you have to write down 3 to 4 sentences regarding that word. And now how you can write them? You have to write them in the context. For example, if you learn a new word, shift. The new word is, just imagine you have learned a new word, shift. Now you have to produce 3 sentences, but you have to produce 3 sentences in different context. For example, please move this table, or please shift this table to the next corner. Number 2, she shifted the gear and move and drive the car faster. She works in double shift. Here the word shift is used in 3 contexts. Number 1, when you say that shift the table to the next corner, here it means that to move something. And when you say that she shifted the gear and drove the car faster, here you mean that you change the gear. Number 3, when you say that she works in double shift, here it means the period of work. Now you understand, and you are trying to relate 3 context with 1 word. Another word, and number 3 solution is that you have to write down the collocations of that word. And now the question arises, ma'am, what are collocations? The collocations are the words which come together, which often come together. For example, if we take the example of shift, here early shift, day shift, night shift. Now early, day, night, late shift, these are the collocations. We have to use the collocations. You can search, if you come across a new word, find out the collocations from the Google, write it down, and then write the sentences there about them. Now we are moving towards the final step. Final step is that you have to write down the paragraph about that new word. For example, if we say that shift, in this factory there is always a double shift. There is always a double shift. He comes for night shift, some come for day shift. Now we have used in the paragraph shift for 3 times, but we have used it in different context. Now you can assimilate and you can learn, and in this way your new words will be added to your active vocabulary, and they will not be added to your passive vocabulary. After all, it is a game of words. If you know the words, if you have learned the words, if you have added them to the active vocabulary, and if you can successfully use them in your conversation, then this problem of forgetting the words will not occur to you. Comment me in the comment section which one of the method you are already following, and which method do you like the most. Thank you so much. Till the next video, stay happy, stay blessed. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.